Marcus Conti reporting from the most beautiful tree in all of the park. Not in all of other parks, because I'm not talking about other parks. This is the most beautiful tree I have determined in this park. Look at the majesty of this, the majesty. Is that the word? Majesty? Look at the beauty in the how the tree reaches to the sky with all its fingers. With firm trunk and deep roots. Deep roots. Marcus Conti reporting from his favorite park. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And welcome to the show. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day if you choose it to be a beautiful day, right? Still a lot of fear in the air. Oh my God, am I picking up on fear? Masked hysteria is still epic in New York City. People walking by, they don't talk to each other. Their faces are all covered, and they look at you, and all you see is eyeballs, and it's becoming spooky. But there are signs of people waking up. I think there are signs. There are a little, you know what I mean? Signs of people waking up. So today we're going to talk about two subjects. One is a very revealing subject. I think it got overlooked. Is that Trump's younger brother, 71-year-old Robert Trump, died in the heat of. He died last Saturday in the heat of the DNC shenanigans, right? The fake convention, the remote convention where we're all supposed to be together, alone, or whatever it was, right? Park, man. There's people walking around, right? Some people, if you recall, when I used to come to this park, there was nobody. Now, suddenly there is some people, a bit zombie-like, but for the most part, it's a beautiful park. New York City, despite what you might think, has some of the most beautiful trees. And what are these trees for? People walk right by them. People take a shit on behind the tree. They use a tree to piss behind. But they don't see the beauty of the tree. Right? For me, trees are yoga. Trees are put your weight on the tree and lean. That's what I do. See, that's my relationship to the tree. Right? Two hands, and you don't need a wall. You don't need a set of weights. You say, "Hello, beautiful tree. I love your angle." And you balance. You balance with the tree. You let the tree teach you about. Well, the tree teaches you everything. The tree teaches you stability. The tree teaches you age. It has wisdom. It has strength. It has firmness, and then up in the leaves, it has loose. It teaches you everything you need to know. Everything to balance a human body, a human mind, is evident in the trees. The trees already figured it out. They don't need that shit. So, anyway, right? So here I am in the park with the trees. If you have trees where you live, enjoy them. Go out and hug the tree. I know people like to hug the tree. I'll do a tree hug. Tree huggers. Let's hug the tree. Oh, God, I love you, tree. I love you, tree. I love you, tree. That's how you survive in this life. Right? You let it all hang out. Right? Speak your mind. Speak your heart. Follow the truth. Right? That's how you survive in this, right? While everything is changing, it doesn't change your truth. It doesn't change your ground. In fact, even in a catastrophe like COVID-19, fake or real, doesn't matter. It still has a devastating effect on the psyche. Right? And what is COVID-19? I just want to talk about that. I'm going to talk about Pelosi, who might be your next president, current events, and Trump's brother dying. But what is COVID-19? COVID-19 was a wake-up call to the sick and the suffering. Right? There's so many sick and suffering people in this world, right? They're walking around with with cancer, with diabetes, with heart disease, with lung problems, with physical ailments. They need a doctor for this and a doctor for that. Right? They need a lawyer. They need a lawyer and a doctor to tell them what is legal and what is healthy. Right? And that all broke down. That's what happened. The whole fucking shit. The whole system broke down because the system couldn't support all the sick people. And, you know, the business of sick people is a business, right? Big business, right? Hospitals couldn't make money. Doctors couldn't make money. Nobody was making money anymore, and it was draining the kitty. Not because things were too expensive. It's because things were too sick. Because for the last 30 or 40 years, the medical profession has been treating sickness because it's profitable. And when it became unprofitable, they had to get out of that shit. You got all these people in nursing homes. What are we going to do with them all, man? There's those fucking sick people in the nursing homes draining the kitty. Right? Send in some disease, man. Right? But so that's what it is. It's the culmination. COVID-19 was the culmination of human sickness, disgust, filth. Right? It was the bottom of the barrel, right? Everybody was piling on top of each other, piling onto trains in the cities, right? And work. Right? I know city workers that they, when they just start, right, they have every minute of their day is supervised, right? You want to go to a desk job, right? You think, oh, desk job, I'll just sit at the desk. But no, every minute that you get up, right? If you get up to go to the bathroom, you got to clock out and then clock back in. Why were you at the bathroom for 6 minutes? You only get 5. Shit faster, motherfucker. I just spit on the camera. Epic spit at 7:15. And that's what happened. That's what COVID-19 was all about. That's what it's becoming clear, that human beings they were overworked, underpaid, they were fucking miserable, right? They didn't understand. They lost connection to nature. They lost their connection that we are part of this beautiful natural world that we live in, right? The beautiful natural elements. As we speak, some of those elements are biting at my ankles. I can't stand the fact that fucking flies love to eat me. I use peppermint oil to keep them off, but nonetheless, I still respect the flies. I'm gonna have to wear pants because I wear shorts. I'll show you. I'm wearing shorts, and the flies love my legs. They like to eat me. Right? But I deal with that. I respect the flies. Sometimes I'll show you my other favorite trees. That's down this way. I'll walk over some of my favorite trees and get in the shade. So let's talk about, that was my introduction. Marcus Conte reporting. Go to, if you're new to this channel, kindly go to Patreon and become a member. Become an ongoing supporter of this channel, or make a one-off contribution at PayPal at marcusconte.com. So Trump holds a White House funeral for his younger brother Robert at a family-only service that happened 5:20 p.m. yesterday. Robert Trump, 71 years old, was a top executive at the Trump Organization. He died on Saturday here in New York City. Right? And of course, that's happening while the DNC is round the clock bashing the shit out of Trump. He's horrible. He's an orange monster. He's killing people. He wants people to die. He wants people to walk into the voting booth and die. That's the argument, by the way, that if you vote in person, you could die. You're at risk. But you can go to the bank and stand online and borrow their money. That's no problem. You wait outside. You could go to the supermarket and buy food. That's no problem. You could have somebody, spin you a hamburger and eat it right on the street. There's no problem with that. But when it comes to putting your finger, filling out a piece of paper and sticking it in a hole and having your vote counted, oh no, that's life-threatening. That's life-threatening. See, we don't have a problem with it. Look, we could use machines in this country. The problem is machines versus paper ballot. Paper ballot is better because you have paper evidence, but it still does not matter because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that the paper, it matters who counts the votes. And there's where the cheating lies. And I've been saying it on this channel forever. Since 2016, I've been screaming at the rooftops that the elections are rigged. And now you have the President of the United States confirming that the elections are rigged. Never before has the President of the United States in modern history ever said that the election is rigged. Maybe you could argue that in 2000 Gore versus Bush, where the Supreme Court ruled for Bush, that arguably that was a constitutional crisis of sorts, and that there was evidence of election rigging, but there was never any confirmation, anything legal or binding that said that the Florida Republicans destroyed ballots and fucked over the Democrats and the country and gave us George Bush. Not that Al Gore would have been any better, but the point is that there's no precedence for what Trump is saying that. Trump saying that the Democrats cannot be trusted with mail-in ballots. Is that an accurate assessment? Of course it is. The Democrats are in a mindset, the lunatic left are in a mindset that Trump is so bad, is so disgusting, that cheating is okay. We could cheat him. That's called fighting for what's right. We got to fight this monster and get him out of here. And that's what they tell their people. So that when caught cheating, no, that's not cheating. You don't want Trump the monster. And what is it all about? It's all about power. That's all it is. It's just a power grab. It has nothing to do with anything remotely that we would call truth. No assessment of truth. But just back to Trump, who Trump is. I think it's interesting and inspiring what Trump said for many reasons, and I'll tell you why. Right? So Trump tweeted out. Now this is sweet, right? Trump, Robert, I love you, about his brother who died Saturday, and had a White House. They're already arguing. Democrats are already saying, "Oh, you can't have a private dead body in the White House. What the fuck are you doing?" Right? They were one step short of condemning Trump for bringing his dead brother to the White House. But here's what Trump said. It shows the humanity of Trump. It shows the character in Trump, because you can't make this up. He said, "Robert, I love you. Rest in peace." He told Fox News, "This was not a great weekend. It's very hard. You know it was going to happen, but when it happens, it's a very tough thing," Trump said about his brother. "He was a great guy, a tremendous guy. He was my friend. I guess they say best friend, and that's true. And losing him, not easy." About the funeral at the White House, Trump said, quote, "I think he'd be greatly honored. He loves our country." He said he loves our country. He's dead. And then he corrected himself and he said, "He loved our country so much." It's so sweet, right? Trump is. It shows the the humanity of the guy, really, right? He loved his brother. He loved his brother who loved this country. Is he making that up? No, it's totally true. Is Trump the great actor? Well, I don't know. I don't think he's that great of an actor. I think you know when Trump's lying and when Trump is telling the truth. I'm going to show you my other beautiful part of the only part of the park. The only part of the park that I dislike about is the dirty, filthy humans that come here. The dirty, disgusting humans that come here and do this. Okay, you got to bring your garbage in, but why can't you bring your garbage out? Why do you have to pile it where it's going to blow all over the fucking place? God damn it. Right? Why do you got to do this, humans? Dig yourself, man. Dig yourself. Dirty humans. Humans. Oh, I forgot to show you the part of the park, right? But here's another part of the park. We're under trees, beautiful trees, and you could hear cars racing in the background. I'll show you where I am. This is pretty interesting, right? Because in this park, you get an ocean, you get the sea breeze because the sea is right behind us. You don't see it from here, but if I peek through the fence, you'll realize that although there is a highway, there is the New York Harbor right there. And there's people walking out on the path. And I guess you can't, from this angle, you can't really, oh, you could see the bridge right there. There she is, the Verrazano Bridge. Although she has a male name, Verrazano, who is a male, that bridge is clearly a female. So that's the other side of what I'm looking at. I don't know why it matters, but it's very interesting, right? This is my hiding spot. Every time I make a video, all my hiding spots disappear because motherfuckers come down here and say, look at this. Oh, I saw that shit in the video, man. I love that spot. I'm going to go down there and take Conti's spot. Not really. That's not true. So Trump is very, very sweet. Now let's talk about the main shit. Will Nancy Pelosi become the next president of the United States by default? Is that possible in our lifetime? Will Nancy fucking Pelosi, dead Nancy, nervous Nancy, crazy Nancy, the corrupt 100-millionaire from San Francisco, California, who's taking more money with Chuck Schumer and the rest of the dirty Democrats and Barney Frank. You remember how much money they stole in 2008? They got so rich in 2008. Her, Obama, Barney Frank, Schumer, all 100 millionaires now, right? From stealing from the banks, skimming, right? Skimming money. So can Nancy Pelosi, the current Speaker of the House, who elected to impeach Trump, right? Led the charge to impeach Trump. What happened to that, Nancy? He's still the president. They impeached Trump. So Nancy Pelosi. So here's the deal. Here's the deal in complete seriousness. Trump says Nancy Pelosi could be president if mail-in ballots delay results. See, the whole thing is nobody trusts the other to conduct a fair election in America anymore. And that is the tell right there. That is the sign of the times. That nobody, there's total fear, total distrust in politics. And if you watch that DNC bullshit, they would lead you to believe that everything's fine. Everything is fine on our end. It's those people with the R behind their name that are the fucking problem that you got to get out of the office. They're all liars. They're all cheaters. They all steal. Right? Pompeo said it best. I was the director of the CIA. We lied, we cheated, we stole. Remember when he said it? I played the recording 35 times on this channel, right? So, is it fact or fiction? Trump says Nancy Pelosi could be the president if mail-in ballots, which he doesn't trust, are used. Can Nancy Pelosi become the next president? Constitutionally, yes. I'll give you the breakdown in a second. Right? So Trump says this. You know, there's a theory that if you don't have results by the end of the year, crazy Nancy Pelosi would become president. That's true. True, right? But is it a theory? No, Mr. President, it's not a theory. It's in the Constitution. It's written into the Constitution. Quote, I don't know if it's a theory or a fact. It's a fact. I think it goes into effect either the 20th or the 1st. It's filthy dirty, Trump called it. Filthy dirty. Well, no, it's in the Constitution, and it doesn't mean that we can't ratify an election between the dates of November 3rd and January 20th. That's 2.5 months to get the results of an election using the Supreme Court. Now again, in Bush v. Gore, the Supreme Court decided December 3rd. So there was still plenty of time. A month and a half, the Supreme Court intervened and picked the president, and they picked Gore they picked Bush based on the evidence, whatever that means. All right, so it's not a theory. I think so. And here's what the Constitution says. This is the law right here. Right, this is the law of the land that we used to have. Remember when we had a Constitution? The Constitution says presidential terms end January 20th. If the November 3rd election is still unresolved, Pelosi would become acting president. Some scholars say it would be Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Now, where is Mike Pence in that assessment? Well, Mike Pence would fall into the category of unelected, because after January 20th, Trump and Pence are no longer a factor. So you would eliminate, that rule would eliminate Mike Pence from taking the seat. You follow? That's according to the Constitution, right? In 2000, I said this before, but I wrote it down. Supreme Court ended the Florida recount on December 9. I'm sorry, I think I said December 3rd. On December 9, and handed victory to George W. Bush. Right? So, if the president dies, the succession is Pence would be first. Speaker of the House Pelosi would be second. President pro tempore of the Senate, that's Chuck Grassley, would be third. And fourth would be the guy who lies and cheats and steals, Mike Pompeo, the Secretary of State, who's not an elected official at all, but appointed by Trump. So, where do scholars get off saying Mike Pompeo will be the next? The Constitution is clear. The Speaker of the House is next in line after the president, and if the president, in the case of the president dying, Speaker of the House would be third in line. But in the case of disqualification and no ratification of the election by January 20th, it would, in fact, according to the record, go to Nancy Pelosi. So, having said that, is that the Democrats' only strategy? To clog the drain for months, using mail-in ballots, legal process, pushing the Supreme Court, then accusing the Supreme Court of not siding with them and siding with Trump, and having a constitutional war over the simple fact that we can't conduct a free election in this country anymore because one side does not trust the other. Nobody trusts anybody anymore. And that's a pretty heavy thing. Not that people ever trusted anybody in the past so much, but the fact is that the election itself, the integrity of our elections, is totally flawed, totally invalidated. I don't believe that the elections are fair. I think that we could have fair elections. Of course we could. I mean, look at banking. Banking is accurate to the penny. All you have to do is create kiosks or use the ATM machines at a bank for voting. You go in, you withdraw your money, you vote. Why couldn't we do that? Or have Google have an app like Google, or create some kind of app that is reliable, just like a banking app. They're reliable. We're going to say if banking apps aren't reliable, then money couldn't stay in one place. People would be stealing electronic money left, right, and center. So the idea that we couldn't do it technologically is factually incorrect. But the fact is that the politicians that control, that make the laws, cannot be trusted. As the siren goes by. Now just contemplate that for a while, right? Breathe in and know that your elections in America are fake. That we live in a kangaroo court. We have kangaroo courts. We live in a what's the word I'm looking for? A banana republic. Do you know that tree? That the humans here now, I know you've been around a while, in all your beauty, but the humans down here can't trust each other anymore. They're destroying the planet. If you're wondering why there's too much gas in the air, it's humans. If you're wondering why the wind is picking up so heavy and knocking your branches off, hey, that's humans too. If you're wondering why it's so fucking hot out when it's supposed to be cool, hey, check your local human. Alright? Although we don't live as long as you, man, do we create havoc on Earth. Man, do we create havoc. So, Marcus Conte reporting. We shall see. We shall see November 3rd, the big election. Now the Republicans are gonna go 4 or 5 days in a row telling you why the Democrats are so dirty. And why Trump is the man, the myth, the legend, to continue. So, historically, I would always say vote, I would always say vote the incumbent out. Although, personally, I didn't vote that way. I voted for Obama twice. Honestly, I voted for Obama. I'll tell you my voting record. I voted for... I think the first time I voted was for Ronald Reagan. I voted for Ronald Reagan. And then, I think I voted for Ross Perot after that. or no, it was... I forgot who ran against George H.W. Bush, or older Bush. Whoever ran against him, I voted for the first time, I don't know who it was. But the second time it was Bill Clinton, and I voted for Bill Clinton. I voted Bill Clinton twice. I voted Democrat my whole life. I voted for Al Gore. I voted for Obama. And in 2016, after the Democrats cheated, I supported Bernie Sanders and voted Green Party. When they cheated him, I voted for Jill Stein. And this time around, I would say vote the incumbent out. Although I never did actually vote that way, as I just told you. I would have to vote, I would have to support, although I might not walk to the polls and vote because I fundamentally disagree with the way it's being conducted and that my vote is not going to count, that it's rigged entirely, but I would support the victory of Trump. When Trump won the last time, when Trump beat fucking Hillary Clinton, I remember sitting up 2 o'clock in the morning when the results came in. Donald Trump, presumptive nominee. I jumped out of my chair in laughter, jumping up and down in total satisfaction that Hillary Clinton and the dirty Democrats were stopped. And nothing has changed in the camp of the dirty Democrats. They've doubled down on their lies. They've doubled down on their cheating. They've doubled down on their clear and convincing fact that they cannot be trusted. Therefore, Trump 2020. Marcus Conte reporting.